Hello viewers, welcome to my channel ITJ Olympiads and AP Physics with Ambarish. And in today's video I have brought a challenge on alternating current. This problem was asked in one of our practice tests last year. So let's have a look at into the problem. Many students found this problem to be difficult, and many of the students they just left this problem in the exam. So that's why I've chosen this problem. Let's see if you can do this problem. So let me state the problem for you. In an AC circuit shown below, voltages VAB and VBC are 100 volt each. So let me just mark the points AB and BC for you. So this is your AB and this is your BC. Okay, so voltage across AB and BC both are 100 volt each. Okay, and the line current is 5 ampere. So this current is 5 ampere going like this. Okay, this is 5 ampere current. Then we have to choose the correct alternative. What is that? The power consumed in the circuit is about 430 watt. The capacitive reactance of the circuit will be 40 ohm. The inductance L in the circuit is 50 millihenry, and the current C is leading the voltage BC by 30 degree. Current in C. Okay. So we have to comment on these four options. So if you want, you can pause the video and try out this question, and then you can have a look at my solution. I'll get into my analysis of the problem right away. So let's have a look at the problem. The source voltage is the phasor sum of the two voltages. See, so this is some phasor. The driver generator voltage is some phasor, and this phasor is obviously equal to the phasor sum of this and this. Okay, deliberately I am using the term phasor sum because phasors are added like vectors and not like scalars. So that's why this 100 volt is supposed to be a vector quantity or a phasor quantity. So phasor sum of this 100 and this 100 must be equal to the this 100. Okay, and this is very interesting. See, two vectors are there of equal magnitude, 100 and 100, and their vector sum is again 100. That means what? These two vectors must be at 120 degree angle. So I've shown that in more detail later on. So initially I can say that phasor sum of these two must be equal to the this voltage, right? Or just like in direct current we say that two potential drops are equal to the potential drop across the battery. Okay, also notice that VBC I've used the symbol tilde to denote a phasor. Okay, just like we use vector quantity, so I have just used the tilde over the normal symbols to denote a phasor quantity. So VBC phasor, that is this voltage phasor, leads the current phasor by a phase of pi by 2. Okay, so you know that in an inductor the voltage in the inductor leads the current in the inductor by a phase of pi by 2. That's why I've written it leads by a phase of pi by 2, current phasor. Okay, and the voltage in AB must be lagging behind the current phasor. Okay, so this we need to understand. In this one, the voltage must be behind the current phasor. Why is that? See, whatever is the voltage, so in the resistor the current is in the same phase as the voltage, right? But in the capacitor the current is voltage is lagging behind. So that means what? So if I see through the through the phasor, we can say that if this is the voltage phasor across the parallel combination of capacitor and resistance, suppose this is the voltage phasor, then current phasor for the resistor is in the same phase, and current phasor for the capacitor is 90 degree above this, right? Because in capacitor the voltage lags behind the current, and if you add these two, this will give you the resultant current, and you can see that resultant current is leading the voltage, right? Or we can say that voltage is lagging behind. So that's what I've written. The voltage in AB must be lagging behind the current phasor because current in the resistor is in same phase as AB, and in the capacitor leads VAB by pi by 2. Okay, current leads in capacitor, current leads by pi by 2. Let us see this qualitatively. So this is the qualitative phasor. So if VAB were to be plotted on this axis, then the net current through R and C parallel combination will be like this. Okay, and if VBC, I am not claiming that VAB and VBC are along the same line. These are two different diagrams just to visualize the relative positions of the phasors. So in the inductor the current is lagging behind, or we can say that voltage across the inductor is leading, and in the RC parallel combination current is leading, right? So these are the current and voltage relative phasors in inductor and the RC parallel combination. Okay, now we have to start our observation at some point of time. So let us say this is 100 cos omega t or maybe 100 root 2 cos omega t, it will not make a difference to our analysis. So if you want, you can take this to be like into root 2, you can put everywhere, but our analysis remains the same, it's not a problem. So suppose this is 100 cos omega t, let us say, okay, or 100 root 2 cos omega t, let it be. In shorthand, we will be writing this as, suppose we write V naught angle phi, it represents V naught cos of omega t plus phi, okay. So now magnitudes of VAB phasor and VBC phasors are equal. So this is also 100 volt and this is also 100 volt, and their resultant must be along their bisector. So whenever we have two equal vectors, then their resultant is along the bisector, and this is also 100. So that means what? If this is 100 angle 0, then what about these two? See, if this is 100 angle 0, then this is 100 angle phi and this is 100 angle minus phi, okay. And of course their horizontal components must add up to 100. So we can say that 100 cos phi, this is also 100 and this is also 100. So 100 cos phi plus 100 cos phi must be equal to 100. That gives you phi is equal to 60 degree, okay. So that means what? VAB, this one, this VAB, this phasor, this is 100 angle minus 60 degree, okay. And similarly this phasor, this is 100 angle, this phasor will be 100 angle 60 degree. So let me just put a phasor sign over here, okay. If you want, you can multiply throughout by root 2. I've just missed out a root 2 everywhere, but you can still follow my analysis. Final answers are going to be correct, okay. Now let us represent all phasors in a single diagram. So this is our net voltage phasor of the generator. This is the voltage phasor across the inductor, and this is the voltage phasor across the RC parallel combination, right? And now the current phasor must be lagging behind by a phase of 90 degrees. So if this is the voltage phasor in the inductor, current phasor is at 90 degree behind this. So this angle is 90 degree, and this is your current phasor, right? This is the net current phasor, and net current in the inductor is also equal to the vector sum of currents in the or phasor sum of currents in the resistance and the capacitance, right? So this is the voltage across the capacitor, and if you see, the current in the resistor is along this voltage phasor itself, voltage in the RC parallel combination phasor, and the current in the capacitor is going to be 90 degree ahead of this voltage phasor, okay. And their sum, you can see, if this angle is 60 degree and this whole angle is 90 degree, that means this angle must be 30 degree and this angle is also 30 degree. Simple geometry, okay, fine. And now what about current in the capacitor? So you know that current is nothing but voltage divided by the reactance, okay. So IC is this, their vector sum is the total current, okay. IC is like this. So IC is VAB divided by XC. VAB is what? VAB is this voltage. So this divided by XC is this current, right? And similarly VAB divided by this resistance is this current, and their vector sum is the total current, which is 5 ampere, right? So that's what I've done. And this angle is 30 degrees. So I can say that IC is VAB by XC and IR is VAB by R, and their ratio must be equal to tan 30 degree, okay. So if you divide the two, VAB cancels off and you are left with R upon XC, that is 1 by root 3, okay. Now IC square plus IR square, use Pythagoras theorem. So this square plus this square should be equal to 5 ampere square, right? So this square plus this square is equal to 5 ampere square, and I know the relation between R and XC by dividing them. So this is 1 by root 3. So I can write that. So this is 100. So 100 upon XC square, that is IC square, plus now the resistance becomes XC upon root 3. This goes there, XC upon root 3, plus 100 divided by XC by root 3 whole square, and this should be equal to 5 amperes, that is given, okay. And if you solve for XC, the XC comes out to be 40 ohms. Just you need to rearrange this equation. You solve, you get XC is equal to 40 ohm, which is option B. See, option B is capacitive reactance is 40 ohm, okay. Then resistance is, again you can see our resistance is XC divided by 1 by root 3, XC upon root 3, so that is becomes 40 by root 3 ohm. And XL was very simple, it is not asked, but if we had to find XL, would be simply the voltage here is with the circuit. So the voltage here is 100 volt and the current is 5 ampere, so XL directly you can say is 20 ohms, right? So XL is your 20 ohms, 100 by 5, which is also equal to omega L. So that will give you inductance will be then 20 divided by omega, or 20 divided by 2 pi times frequency. So your frequency was 50 hertz. So if you calculate this comes out to be 63 millihenry. So this is wrong. This says 50 millihenry. So option C is obviously wrong. And from the phasor diagram we can see that the current in the capacitor leads the capacitor voltage by 30 degrees. See, so this was your capacitor current, and this was your capacitor, just one second, capacitor current, no, total current, sorry. So this option says that current in C is leading the voltage BC by 30 degree. Okay, voltage BC, just a sec. So what is the voltage BC? So voltage BC is, okay, so this is your voltage BC, and this is your capacitor current. So we need to find the angle between this vector and this vector. Okay, so let's see what is the angle. Anyway, this is doesn't seem to be leading. See, this is 90 degree to this, so 90 degree to this is actually lagging behind. So current in the capacitor is actually lagging behind the voltage phasor, right? Because if you draw perpendicular to this whole angle is your 120 degree, and if you draw perpendicular, this becomes 30 degree. So capacitor current is actually 30 degree behind voltage BC, but it says that it is leading the voltage BC. So I mistakenly put a tick mark over here. So this is not correct. Okay, so option D is not correct. Okay, option D is not correct. Okay, so this is not correct. Current, we have to compare it with BC. Okay, this statement is correct. I have said that current leads the capacitor voltage by 30 degree. That is okay, that is fine, because capacitor voltage is this phasor. Okay, capacitor voltage is this phasor, and this is the total current phasor, and this is 30 degree. So that would have been correct, capacitor voltage, but it's not talking about capacitor voltage, it was talking about the voltage BC, and BC is actually the inductor voltage. Okay, so this is not correct. Okay, then we have to find the power dissipated in the resistor. So power dissipated in the resistor, you know that in any LCR circuit, whatever is power dissipated happens, that all the dissipation happens in the resistor, and in the resistor whatever is the voltage across the resistor, you can simply do V square by R. Either you can do VI cos phi for the entire circuit, or you can just add the powers in different resistors in the LCR circuit. So I take the simple route. I know the voltage across the resistor is 100 volts, and the resistance value was 40 by root 3. So I just take V square by R, and I get 433.01 watt, which is very close to 430 watts. So option A is also correct. So I hope you enjoyed this analysis of a AC circuit. It was somewhat on the tricky side, non-conventional question, and if you did like this analysis, please do give a thumbs up to my video, and please share this video as much as possible in various WhatsApp or Telegram groups, or whatever academic study groups that you might be part of, maybe Discord servers or whatever. And most importantly, if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe to my channel. That's what motivates me. My channel is not monetized. It's your support that motivates me to continue doing new videos. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please do keep coming back to my channel for more awesome stuff. See you in the next video. God bless you all.